Morning, gang. Beer of the day, Sam Adams Boston Lager. Sue is at the ladies' cards day today. Today's Monday. You'll see this video on Friday. So I always take advantage while the house is empty and I got quietness around me, and so I do these videos so I don't bother nobody. The news. How about a New Year's resolution for no more bad parking in the villages? Ain't gonna happen. I've showed you guys these pictures and how people park. It's just total ignorance. That's all I can really say. Visitor to the villages headed to anger management after ruckus at town square. Oh, that was done a couple of months ago. The guy was at World of Beer in Brownwood. And I don't know what led up to anything, but anyway, the bartender, female bartender, he wanted a beer or something, and she refused to serve him. Said that she felt that he had had enough. Apparently, for him to get cut off, he must have really been bad. He immediately got mad, and I grabbed her by the wrist, I guess. And then when she hollered for somebody to call the police or something, he pushed her back into the cash register or something. So anyway, he was arrested. They get a lawyer. They always have a plea deal, especially if it's first time offense. So this guy has to go to anger management, something like 40 hours of community service, and I don't know what else. I don't even think he's from here, so we'll see how that works out. Villagers will soon be treated to second location of First Watch Daytime Cafe. Yeah, there's one up at Spanish Springs. I've never been there. Sue and Deb went there. I don't know if I've done a video on it or not, and Sue said it was pretty good. Adult child arrested after nearly hitting entrance gate in the village of La Belle. Drunk. It's always drunk. Well, I guess it could be a medical issue, but when they say adult child, this is what I'm saying. When the kids move in with mom and dad, they never go away. And this is what happens all the time. This guy looks like a nut. Look at the guy. I'll show you. I ain't scared. Look at him. 49-year-old man who lives in the villages Oh, so he's living with mommy and daddy. Who lives in the villages was arrested after a near miss at an entrance gate at the village of La Belle North. Robert Elk Green had been at the wheel of a red Volkswagen about 3:30 p.m. Thursday, traveling north on Morris Boulevard and turning onto Moyer Loop when the vehicle's erratic maneuvering caught the attention of a Sumter County Sheriff's deputy. A Kentucky nephew arrested after altercation with aunt at her home. Spoiled brat. Some of these don't have anything to do with the villages, so I'm just kind of skipping over them. Villager's death from West Nile virus linked to mosquito bite at Finney. That happened a long while ago. I want to say that happened like maybe, I don't even want to say, I'm going to say beginning of summer? Maybe a year ago? I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, he did. He died. And villager's son gets off with probation and woman's fatal fall from golf cart. That is so sad to me. That is so sad that I can't tell you how disgusted that just makes me. He's been drinking. She's been drinking down at Brownwood area. They hooked up down there. He's taking her somewhere in his golf cart, turns the corner, she falls out, hits her head. She's laying there on the street, I think it was. She rolled out into the street or the golf cart path, banged her head really good. Well, she died. So he gets out. What does he do? He drags her body over into the bushes and then gets in his golf cart and takes off. And at the end of all that, he gets off on probation. I'm sorry, I wasn't in the courtroom. I don't know the whole story, but I do know that what I told you, you can Google it. That's the gist of what happened. Miller's Ale House food and friendly service should keep diners coming back. Sue and Deb done a video at Miller's already. Earth Fair on track for 2020 opening as company stores closing in Indiana. Boy, somebody will have to clue me in on what that is. I don't even have no idea what Earth Fair is. 2 injured when semi-trucks collide on Florida's turnpike packed with holiday travelers. Woman arrested after fleeing scene of rollover crash on U.S. Highway 27 and 441. Spanish Springs is right next to 27 and 441. Another convicted sex offender checks in at home in Tanglewood Villas. I think that's in the Villages. Seems like in the wintertime there's a few sex offenders that always come down here in the wintertime. And I've always said they should take their picture. There should be a locked bulletin board at the neighborhood pools throughout all the villages. And any sex offender that registers when they move in here, their picture should be posted up there. Because if I'm not mistaken, they're not allowed to be around children whatsoever. They can't live within so many feet, hundreds of feet of a school, any of that stuff. And they don't do that. I would. Yeah, it's in the village. Well, I don't know. Is it? Yeah. It says Christopher Allen Roberts, 53, has registered an address at 949 Tanglewood Place in the village of Sable Chase, according to the Village Department Law Enforcement. For those of you that live here and you have grandkids, whoops, what did I do? I just lost something. Here. Burn that image in your face. Bunch of weirdos coming down here. Just makes me sick. I'm not in the best of moods today. I hurt myself, and so I'm sitting here doing these videos. I'm kind of in a little bit of pain. So if I sound a little grumpy, either deal with it or just shut it off. I don't care. Driver taken by ambulance from 3-vehicle crash in roundabout in the Villages. Villager's disrespectful son arrested after holiday family brawl. Apparently that was done in the village of Mira Mesa. It's one of the older villages. It's up by kind of close to Spanish Springs. Nice neighborhood though. Let me see if I got a picture of this guy. Yeah, look at this loser. I'm sorry. Look at him. He looks like an upstanding citizen, doesn't he? Body found on Villages golf course following reported medical issue. I did hear, somebody told me about this last week. I forget where I was at, and somebody had mentioned that. I had never heard anything about it. Maybe somebody here. No, it was on a live chat. When we had our live chat, somebody that lives down at Finney sent me a message on the live chat. This is a big one. I don't want to read the whole thing. A person died on a Villages golf course on the afternoon of December 20th after reportedly suffering from a medical issue. An ambulance was sent to Amberwood Executive Golf Course on Legacy Lane, and a short time later the medical examiner responded to the facility. It was unclear Thursday if the victim was a man or woman or a resident of the Villages. The golfer was part of a foursome on the Amberwood course. Amberwood, if I remember right, that's way up north, up there by Mulberry, way up there. That's a much older neighborhood. The golfer was part of a foursome on the Amberwood course on Friday, said the starter cautioned them to bypass the third hole because there was a body there. The golfer said that after leaving the second green, they saw a law enforcement officer standing guard over the body, covered with a white sheet on a bench near the tee box. Oh, that's so sad. I got nothing. I got nothing to say. That's too bad. But you know what? If you're a golfer and you're an avid golfer, and in the Villages there are some very, very avid golfers. I mean, every day, unless the courses are closed for whatever, they're playing every day. To those guys, I think it's apropos that they die on the golf course, because I think that's what, if they had to, in life, if they had to pick a place to die, I think that's what they would say. Just let me tee off, hit a 250-yard drive straight down the middle and die right there, or let me sink that 60-foot putt and then die. I mean, before I get too gross here. Customer complaints spur arrest of drunken man in Publix in the Villages. See, this is what goes on in the Villages all the time. In wintertime, it's even more. You'll notice as I'm reading these, I'm just reading them as I go through them. We're in the winter months, and you see how it's escalated already, and we're not even at full capacity yet. It's just drunk here, drunk there. Here we are again. Snowbird sex offender checks in at home in village of Dunedin. There he is. I know what you're thinking. Looks like he could just be somebody's grandpa. Well, he probably is, but snowbird sex offender checks in at home in the village of Dunedin. Hugh Timothy Keating, 80, of East Brady, Pennsylvania, has registered a temporary address at 3647 First Street, according to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. He registered the address on Christmas Day. Keating was 77 when he was arrested in 2017 by South Steuben Township Police in Pennsylvania after allegedly inappropriately touching an 11-year-old girl, according to the news accounts at the time. He was convicted in the case in 2018. He's renting that home. Thief who stole villager's golf cart in 2016 lands back behind bars. Look at this idiot. I don't care. You guys say what you want. This is what I'm saying right there. See how this guy's all tattooed up to his neck and stuff? He got his face to go yet. There ain't nobody coming to my house doing any kind of work that looks like that. They're going to be, I'm telling them, get off my property and don't ever come back. There's nobody going to, he's painting a picture of himself. I don't want nothing to do with it. And I don't want to hear about, oh, well, not all of them are like that. Oh, no, everybody I know, they like to tattoo their face because they just think it looks good. Ain't happening around my house. Lance Garrett Hanson, 36, of Fruitland Park, is facing a felony charge of theft after a botched heist at a local Walmart store. He was booked Sunday at the Lake County Jail and released after posting a $2,000 bond. Hanson was arrested in here's how smart these guys are. He was arrested in 2016 after snatching a villager's golf cart after he stopped for coffee. You dumbass. CDD supervisor delivers cookies to gate attendants on Christmas Day. Troubled young person living in the villages skips anger management classes. There he is. That guy's been arrested before. And he's exactly the problem here. And somebody needs to enforce district rules. I don't know if he bought or inherited or whatever, but he's up around the Silver Lake area up there in the older area. He has a girlfriend that has a baby by him. The baby's like a year old or less, somewhere in that area. He got arrested once before because him and her got into a fight, and I'm sure a neighbor probably called the cop, whatever. I think he punched a girl or something. I mean, I'm going out. I don't remember. You have to Google the story. But anyway, he got arrested before. Now he's in trouble again. Once they move in, they never go away. She doesn't live here apparently. She's got a place somewhere else, but she comes to his house regularly. There's a rule in my district, and I'm sure it's up there, that you can have guests the same guest can stay at your house up to 30 days a year per calendar year. So if she's going over to his place every weekend, that is beyond the 30-day limit. And, I don't know. They have these problems. People complain, but nothing seems to get done. A club right there. It says groups come together in team effort to brighten Christmas for needy families. A lot of good stuff goes on here. A lot. They do packages. They mail them overseas to military families for Christmas. All kinds of stuff. Golf cart driver charged with DUI after crash near Sunset Point entry gate. It's a lady. Oh my God. Generally speaking, when it comes to drunk drivers and golf carts, it's usually a man. It's very unusual to see a lady. She doesn't even look drunk to me, but what do I know what drunk looks like? Well, it didn't say drunk, did it? It said DUI. I make the same mistakes a lot of them do. DUI does not necessarily mean drunk. She could be on prescription pills that inhibits her motor skills. Wildwood man lands behind bars after a traffic stop at Brownwood. Look at this goofball. Go back to school, son. Get an education. He failed to come to a complete stop at 44 and Megason Road. A check revealed his driver's license had been suspended for failure to pay a traffic fine. There are more people they stop here that has suspended license, no license. It just amazes me. Just totally amazes me. Mississippi River style paddle wheel and pirate ship coming to Lake Sumter Landing. Man driving golf cart in roundabout catches lucky break in court. If you find yourself in a roundabout that's not on a golf cart trail, you are not supposed to be there. Not in a golf cart. That should be your first clue. Golf carts and roundabouts and cars don't go together. Villager gets stiff jail sentence after second golf cart DUI. Golf cart thief headed to prison after string of Yamaha thefts in the villages. Villager who got off easy in teen sex assault facing serious charges up north. Son walks out of jail after time served for ripping off villager with dementia. There's what the son looks like. Come on, there you go. Look at it. Can't believe somebody would take advantage of somebody with dementia. You can't play dumb to that, Oh, I didn't know. Bad drivers caught on video here in Florida's friendliest hometown. It's generally golf carts that they get lost. They make a wrong turn and accidents do happen. So I'm not picking on these people. I'm just not, but that's what usually they get a picture of. They see it. People that live here full time, they see a picture of a golf cart, say on 466. Well, that's a big no-no, and they know that. Or they'll see it on, I don't know, any of the roads where we know the golf carts are not allowed. But when people come down, they're basically told, the Villages is a golf cart community. You can take a golf cart and go anywhere. That is true to a point. You can't be on the main roads. Not unless there's a golf cart path. And it takes time to learn some of that. It don't take very long to learn. But it does get confusing when somebody comes down to rent a house. And that's usually what happens. It's somebody that's renting a house, first time, never been here. They get in a golf cart, and in their mind is, I can go anywhere. So they just go to a stop sign, turn right, and they're going down a road, until somebody stops and tell them, It just takes a little while. But it can be dangerous. You can be killed. Villager ordered into anger management after battle over bottle of vodka in the village of Bel Air. It's a nice area, Bel Air. And it's a woman. Village couple climbs out tailgate after minivan sinks into 4 feet of water. Where was that at? That wasn't here, was it? The village couple's minivan sank into a 4-foot hole created by a water main break in their neighborhood. What neighborhood were they in? East Swartz Boulevard. Okay, that's up in the old area. Silver Lake, Orange Blossom area, Swartz Boulevard. That's named after the original developer, Harold Swartz. They've had a water main break, I guess, and people are older. How old were these people? It doesn't really say, does it? Shows the van down in the hole. Let me see if you guys can see that. Can you see it? There's their van, fell in the hole in the street. That'd freak you out, wouldn't it? As a couple watching disbelief, okay, public safety. Boy order. It doesn't say how old they was. Generally speaking, the people up there are older because it's an older neighborhood. God bless them. I mean, these poor old people had to climb over their seats. Probably it was a minivan, so there's probably a back seat. They had to climb over that, get their back door open that goes up, and then climb out. For an elderly couple, that could be tough. Wow. Good for you, though. You got out. AAC rejects the Finney-style zero-entry pool at First Responders Recreation Center. High-level Villages executive thrilled over mass interest in apartment-style living. That's the lofts of Brownwood. They started taking orders, I think, and deposits, I believe, because I've heard other people talk about it too. And so, it's an apartment that you can rent. It's literally within walking distance of downtown Square. So if you're interested in one of them, I would suggest ASAP to get a hold of them, because my guess is those things are probably going to rent out and rent out fast. I don't have any idea about price, deposits, none of that. Villages Regional Hospital sold to owner of renowned Shands Hospital. I've done a video on that already. Elderly man airlifted from Colony Plaza after stepping into path of vehicle. It's wintertime, man. Just be careful. Everybody concerned. If you're walking, watch where you're walking. Don't be looking at your cell phone. If you're driving a car and you're going through a shopping center, be very, very, very careful. People are looking on their cell phone and they're walking. I've seen them do it. They're walking like this. They're doing this, or they're doing this. You know, they're looking this way. Cars are coming from over here, but they're looking this way when they got the phone up to their ear. I mean, people just don't pay no attention down here. I don't know. They just don't. Sumter County residents oppose village's expansion over fears about water supply. They've had that argument different times through the years about water supply, sinkhole problems because of water supply and things like that. It hasn't gotten them anywhere. I understand their argument. I'm not even saying I disagree with it. But there's two things here that you have to think about. One is your county commissioners, these people, they're looking at money for the county. So they're not going to very seldom ever say no to building expansion like this, because for every house built, that's tax dollars in their pocket, and they're not going to give that up. So the tax dollars in Sumter County has been increased by millions and millions of dollars because of homes being built. That money's being used to probably build new police stations, buy new police cars, hire more people in the police department, the fire departments, maybe even a school or two, I don't know, but they're not going to give that money up. So that argument isn't going to stop them. Second of all, if the water thing is such a problem because of the village's expansion, then why did Sumter County approve that bottled water factory that's supposed to be built over there? And they're supposed to be pulling something like 500,000 gallons of water out of the ground and bottle it every day. There's something you ought to think about. And I think that's been approved. I don't know if they started building it or not, but I think it's been approved. 300-pound belligerent man in golf cart arrested at Wildwood World of Beer. Once again, there you go. My guess is they cut him off and he couldn't take no for an answer. Officer was called shortly before midnight Saturday to World of Beer, where an intoxicated man later identified a 46-year-old Walter Scott Taylor of Seffner. Okay, he's not from here. Remember, I told you, don't leave anything in your golf cart or anything, because they're open to the public, and just because you're sitting at a bar and there's a person next to you, that person may or may not live here. Any problem you have in your town now, you're going to have that same problem here. Just be aware of this stuff. We do live in a bubble, as they call it, but do we really? He was trying to enter the establishment, which was... When officers arrived at the scene, Taylor was found sitting in a golf cart. His speech was slurred. His eyes were bloodshot. Police suggested that Taylor call for a ride, something he refused to do. I haven't done anything wrong, Taylor told police. They have no reasoning at all when they've been drinking. Fearing Taylor was trying to re-enter the business, I asked him to walk back to his golf cart and sit down several times, but he became loud, more belligerent, and refused. Well, it sounds like, they were trying to cut him to a little bit of a break here, and he just wouldn't listen. What can I tell you? Villager jailed on DUI charge after crash on County Road 466. Woman in a golf cart strays onto busy roadway in the Villages. I'm going to show you this picture real quick. See this car? See that golf cart? This pole here has probably got a stoplight and stuff on top of it. I'm going to guess that's like 466A, or that could be 466. No, you're not supposed to be there. It takes a while to learn, but I'm telling you, you need to learn, because you get out there like that, especially in wintertime, with the way some of these people drive, you can get killed. Mortgage company given 3 days to fix issues at abandoned Tamarind Grove Villa. Probably somebody passed away, or so when you get these reverse mortgages, it gets into legal issues about stuff, Villager dressed in Santa leggings arrested after drunken attack on husband. Yamaha golf cart snatched from village's golf cars facility. Mother calls police after trespasser shows up at home in the villages. Look at this guy. He looks like a real winner. An 81-year-old mother called police after a persistent trespasser showed up yet again at a home where her daughter resides on the historic side of the villages. Her daughter resides there. Say what you want. Everybody thinks that their children are just perfect, but this seems to be an ongoing issue here that spreads with age. Right now where I'm at, we don't seem to have that problem, but someday we're going to be 80 down here. So is all my neighbors going to have useless kids moving in with them to help them? The Ocala woman called police Sunday afternoon after 57-year-old Douglas Hirsch showed up at a home she owns in the 1700 block of Myrtle Beach Drive. A trespasser order was put in place in 2017, and Hirsch since has been arrested for trespassing there in 2018 and twice more in 2019. The daughter admitted to police earlier this year she had invited Hirsch over to drink beer. Well, Mom, kick your daughter out. Tell her to go live with her somewhere else. I'm sure your neighbors would appreciate it. Well, I think that's about it for right now. Villager who drank martini while golfing arrested on golf cart DUI. Looks like at Mallory Country Club. I think that's about it. Okay. Hope I get to feel a little bit better. I'll get this posted Friday. Wednesday I've got question and answers that will be coming up. And then, of course, today you got the those big blackbirds, whatever they are. People say they're crows. I've heard other people say they're ravens. Somebody told me they were grakens or krakens or whatever they are. I've never heard them make a noise. And they're in my yard every day. But those are the birds that will rip your garbage bags open. So be warned if you see them in your neighborhood. They know when a trash truck is coming. They just seem to know. So in the meantime, I'm going to get out of here. Just say I'll see you guys on the other side.